Nihon YouTube, what's going on? Saarland to China. Today I will tell you the 5 most important traps to avoid when greeting a Chinese person for the very first time. The first impression when meeting a Chinese person is very, very important because nothing is more important in China than a very nice harmony between the two people who are meeting for the first time. They want to be good friends and probably they want to establish a good relationship for the future. And a bad first impression is very hard to correct in China, so take good care that you don't do any mistakes when greeting a Chinese person. How to greet a Chinese person, how to say hello to a Chinese person in Chinese. I explained this to you on my second channel, languageschool.rocks. Check out the link in the description and you can learn some Chinese with me. So, number 1 mistake and trap to avoid when greeting a Chinese person is do not, never ever squeeze the hand of your Chinese counterpart. This is very rude and not very polite. When Chinese people shake hands, it feels like they are really, really weak and maybe sick. And for us, it feels kind of uncomfortable. But you should never squeeze the hand of a Chinese person. Otherwise, the Chinese will think you are kind of maybe arrogant or disrespectful to them. So you just give the hand without squeezing it too hard. And that's basically it. It feels like, just imagine you're visiting your grandma in a hospital who just suffered a stroke and she's really, really weak. This is how you should give a Chinese person your hand, is really, really weak handshake. And this does not symbolize you're weak or something, it symbolizes respect. Especially when greeting a Chinese woman, it is very, very important not to squeeze her hand. Be careful here. In general, the Chinese woman will just give you the 4 fingers without her thumb. And what you want to do is that you take the 1/3 of her 4 fingers, not squeeze it, just touch it. Don't take the whole hand. Just do as if you're doing a handshake, but don't squeeze the hand. Don't squeeze her thumb because she's only giving you the 4 fingers and you only take the first third of those 4 fingers and you do as if you're doing a handshake with her, so it is not a real handshake. Second, never look your Chinese counterpart directly into his eyes. You can do just a slight bow, and during the handshake you kind of look a bit on the ground without bowing too much. The reason is you just don't want to look your counterpart directly in his or into her eyes. Usually when Chinese people greet, they come very, very close, so which means you don't have this kind of 2 elbows comfort zone which we used to have in the West. When Chinese greet each other, they are getting very, very close, sometimes so close that you can smell your counterpart. So one very important advice is make sure you stay close to your Chinese counterpart. You don't want to go away too fast, right? Stay with him for a while. And also during this time, the handshake will last. It might take 1 minute. This is maybe the minute of welcoming you. And this is sometimes really hard to bear for us because, as I said, the handshake is so weak and you will be so close during this first phase of welcoming that you might be uncomfortable or you might feel uncomfortable. But for the Chinese, this is very important. During this minute of being very, very close and still shaking hands, you will be welcomed. And during this period, you just should smile and say maybe 谢谢, 谢谢, thank you, thank you. So this expresses like a maximum of respect and that you really appreciate the nice welcome ceremony or whatsoever. And another important point is that as you will be so close to your Chinese counterpart, please do not put really any perfumes or aftershaves, or try to use a very light deodorant. The Chinese people, they really don't like it when Westerners, they put like really heavy perfumes. I mean, for us it's the same, you know. Imagine you're really close to a Chinese and all you smell is garlic. It's not a very comfortable situation. So please do not use too much perfume or aftershave. So when greeting a Chinese person, this is considered polite, and you want to have a neutral body odor, and this is much better than putting too much chemical things on your body. Another very important thing is that the most important person in the round, this is in general the leader of a company or the oldest person. And in China, most of the time, the leader of a company or a school or whatsoever is a male person, is a man. And he's most of the time the oldest person. He's coming with some secretaries or whatsoever, and you will very soon figure out who to greet first. Don't worry about that. And also most of the time this person will be the first to greet you, so probably you won't have to take care anyway, but make sure not to greet the young beautiful secretary first, otherwise your boss might be not very delighted. Another very important thing is the exchange of name cards. Probably the most important person will give you his name card, and he will use both hands handing you over his name card. And during this time you will also bow a little bit, lower your face, look on the ground, look on the name card, take the name card with both hands. This is critical, very important. Always take the name card with both hands. Use your index finger and your thumb of both hands. Take it like this and study it. Look at the name card for maybe 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and try to pronounce the name. Try to pronounce it, and this will really kind of flatter the Chinese. This means his personality, his name is important for you. You're caring about a future relationship because you are kind of trying to pronounce the name, and probably in the future you will pronounce it many more times. And then what you want to do, don't put the name card just away somewhere where it's not, where it doesn't look good. Take your purse, put it there. It should look like you really care of this name card, and it's something really precious for you. You should treat it like this. And then what you want to do, you should prepare your own name card before going to China. Hand it over also with both hands and bow your head. Look on the name card. Don't look your counterpart directly into the eyes, and he will probably do the same. He will try to pronounce your name. He will study it carefully. So make sure you write your phone number, your email address, and make sure the name who's going to be pronounced by the Chinese is not too difficult to pronounce. If you think your name is too long or too difficult, then maybe choose something like a nickname, which makes it much easier for the Chinese to pronounce it. Well, that was the top 5 traps to avoid when greeting a Chinese person. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, check out my second channel, Language School Rocks. There I will show you how to say hello in Chinese, how to greet a person in Chinese. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye. 再见.